filming it.
Carone picked up his JVC 32 times optical zoom camcorder and records the bright, fast-moving light for 14 minutes.
I was standing right here, and I took my camcorder, and I put the strap against this, and I held it against the pole. And it was in the southwest direction. It was
Is that there? Between the trees?
Yes, it was towards Selden.
Selden is where the objects were first seen.
It was round in shape, and it had bright lights. It had like ribbons coming off of it.
How do you mean ribbons? You mean ribbons of light?
Yeah, bright lights, different color lights. And, you know, some of this could be seen with the naked eye.
What color was the light on the object?
Red, blue, green, all different colors.
So the object itself is changing colors?
Yes, yes.
Carone describes the object as being multicolored, noiseless, and making ribbon-like patterns.
What about the suggestion that these were F-16s?
I've never seen an F-16 do that.
This did not look like an F-16 to you? No.
No. I know what an F-16 sounds like going through the eye also.
Okay.
It can be heard.
So as far as you know, this was not an airplane.
Oh, it's not an airplane.
Helicopter?
No helicopter.
Balloon?
Definitely not a balloon.
Certainly, you've got an event that made people believe they were looking at something paranormal.
For the first time, Carone relinquishes his video footage and camera to the team in hopes that they may uncover what occurred that night.
There was definitely something on that videotape.
Could this be the first documented evidence of the Stephenville event?
Guys, we got something great for you.
Never before has this video been released to the public.
It's not just a glimpse of an object. He had over 14 minutes of footage.
And when the team analyzes it,
I can't explain that.
There's something going on.
They uncover disturbing evidence.
I'm convinced.
These weren't aircraft or helicopters.
I'm 52 years old, and I've never seen nothing like this.
I knew something was there, but you couldn't see it. I noticed the birds went smack into it, and it spiraled down to the ground and fell.
In January 2008, numerous locals of Stephenville, Texas, and surrounding areas report seeing strange bright craft, possibly extraterrestrial.
I ran inside the house and got my camcorder and started taking footage of the object.
Guys, we got something great for you. We got some great footage. Jeff, could you hook that up to the player?
All right, I'll set it up.
For the first time ever, the team studies video evidence of one of the sightings that occurred on January 19, 2008. Joining the team is Ken Cherry, the state director of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. David Carone starts recording a bright light in the distance at 8:45 p.m. with a handheld digital camcorder. He stabilizes the camera by propping it against a sturdy pole.
This is out front of his house, actually pointed between a line of trees and a telephone pole.
Using the camera's 32 times optical zoom, he films what he believes is a UFO. The object has either a serpentine shape or produces ribbon-like patterns.
Well, that looks severely blurred or defocused.
He's got it on some kind of night shot right now, which is why you're getting this sort of stutter.
Because the sighting occurs at night, Carone uses a special camera setting to capture images at low light.
He said he saw it with his naked eye.
Yes.
Before he put the camera up to it, because that's what got him to go inside the house and get the camera. If he says this is what he actually saw, maybe not as pronounced,
exactly,
but he saw streaks coming off it with his naked eye, that tells me, okay, fine, he's seeing something.
The light displays another unexplainable characteristic.
It looks like it's definitely multicolor. Probably the most curious thing to me is that the object appears to be changing colors throughout the spectrum. I can't explain it.
Have you seen these kinds of shapes before?
What is the object? Is this image the result of operator error? Or could Carone have actually videotaped a UFO?
Well, we could simply try to reproduce this effect and see if we can get something similar to that.
Let's do it.
All right.
Great.
It's a good-sized university.
It's a point guy's named Clint.
Yeah.
Dr. Ted Ackworth, along with experiments producer John Tyndall, head to Tarleton State University to see if it is possible to recreate the alleged UFO footage.
To me, it looks like there's a lot of hand vibration, which is what's making it look like a UFO. So I really want to set up an experiment to see if we can mimic the shaking of the hand and recreate the effect that we have on the footage. Okay.
Meanwhile, Pat and Bill have discovered a new twist in their investigation.
This is not about a January the 8th sighting. This is about a cluster of sightings in a low population area. A lot of people believe that this case is about a January the 8th sighting. In fact, it's not.
Local media claim the mass UFO sightings began on January 8th, but Ken Cherry has found evidence proving them wrong.
The story begins in December of '07.
MUFON typically receives 20 UFO reports a month from Texas, but that number was quickly surpassed by the reports from this single town.
So the first week of December, we have 2. Second week, same area, we have 4. Third week, 7 reports, got 5 more. At this point, we realize that we have a very significant mass sighting.
Some claim that the rash of new reports in and around Stephenville were by people who were inspired to see lights in the sky immediately following the flurry of media reports that began on January 10th. But there's a problem with that. MUFON began receiving reports a month earlier.
This is around Christmas when typically our whole system has a big lull.
There have been sightings that dating all the way back to early December of 2007 that have peaked in early January of this year, and then now that swarm of sightings is moving south toward Houston.
According to the latest MUFON reports, UFO sightings started in towns of Arath County, but as weeks went by, the sightings began to move south. January 20th, San Antonio, a cigar-shaped UFO. January 26th, San Antonio, flying disc. January 29th, Katy, strange triangle. February 2nd, Houston, a bright sphere. The sightings eventually taper off around Houston in February 2008, but reports are still being collected in this ongoing investigation.
It's almost like a flock of birds. I hope it's not, but that's what it seems like.
What was the object or objects that many residents witnessed and David Carone filmed?
Then we have to do both. Yeah, that's all we need.
Ted, using Carone's video camera, attempts to recreate the footage in question. They rig the base of the camera to a spinning drill, which moves the camera left to right, mimicking the movement of the hand. Carone claims to have shot a steady image, holding the camera against a pole. But could a shaky camera produce the ribbon effect as seen on the tape?
We've set up the camera. We've got a point source on the horizon.
It's very small, I like that.
The camera records a light on the other side of the room, representing the alleged UFO. There are